Are you serious? Are you serious? Welcome, folks. You are here for a powerful interview. Great news. I love great news. Good news, good news, great news. I'm excited about the job market. The numbers are off the charts. Matter of fact, record amount of people are working in America than ever before in history. And also, Noble Gold Investments have just been recognized by Fox News for some really, really good job in offering an award to a 17-year-old kid. We're going to tell you all about these things, what's happening. Our guest today from Noble Gold Investments, Colin Plume. Colin, great to have you on the broadcast.
Pastor Paul, it is always great to be here, excited to be here, and good news about the job report. I think you and I were joking a little bit that maybe it's time for us to step back and let other people start to continue to do this work. And no, I'm just kidding. But no, great news about the job report. Unbelievable to see that many jobs, people working in the United States. It's a tribute to what President Trump has been doing.
You know, it really is. It really is. 155,965,000 jobs, people working. And the month of July, the numbers just come out. July's numbers, again, another new 157,000 new jobs. 37,000 of those, Colin, are manufacturing jobs.
Good.
And
That's good to hear.
And matter of fact, we just put a chart on the screen here for everyone. Look at this. This is since July of 2017. Look how many new jobs every month. 190,000, 221,000, 271,000, 216,000. I mean, this is amazing. These numbers are off the charts, no pun intended, but the economy is roaring, Colin.
Absolutely. No, and I think to hear the manufacturing numbers especially is exciting because, so much of our manufacturing, my father was in the garment business for 40 years. My grandfather before him was in the garment business. And the last 25 years, most of that manufacturing left here and went to China and India and kind of all over the world. And to hear that companies are coming back here and we're making our own goods and, they're starting to make clothes back here in the United States and car and a lot of things. And I think the more we can keep jobs here, the better it is for everybody. We keep the money here, and I think that's really important.
Also, as you're talking about keeping the jobs here, buy American, hire American. I think that's one of the themes we've heard President Donald Trump say. I just saw news today. China has slipped in they're no longer number 2 consumer in the world. They have fallen to number 3. So do you think the tariffs on China, see, the tariffs aren't hurting America. It's obvious. Trump knew it. Do you think that the tariffs, though, are affecting China?
It seems that it is. I mean, I know their economy has not been as strong. They're never really forthright about their economic numbers. I know they've had some issues. And, when you have that many people in a country and you have so many different levels of economic prosperity, you're going to see, the economy there not go as well as it should be. And they're still, looking to kind of get their footing. But I do think that the tariffs are having some effect initially. And it'll be interesting to see what happens down the road if China retaliates, because obviously they, even though they've dropped in terms of consumption, they're a big consumer. They're a big distributor of goods to the United States. So we'll see how this plays out over the next few months.
Exactly. I mean, it is going to be interesting to see. I'm going to talk about just in a moment here President Trump and his trip to. Before he got to Russia, how he really did some heavy negotiation with the European Union on tariffs and how that has unbelievable turnaround in a positive way for America. But first, you guys are in the news. Fox News has recognized it. This 17-year-old kid, Ashton Hess, I guess got bullied because he was wearing this hat right here I have on my desk, Make America Great Again. I mean, give the kid a break if he wants to wear it, if he loves America. So can you tell us a little bit about this? Because you guys stepped up and honored this kid, and Fox News caught up with this.
Yeah, I mean, the story was our friend Todd Starnes from Fox News was talking to Ashton, and basically the kid was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. He was on vacation. He's 17, and these kids came up and stole the hat and kind of roughed him up a little bit, and then they videotaped it, and they had the audacity to even put the videotape online. They were proud of what they had accomplished, and it makes you think that this country, you have freedom of speech, freedom of expression. You should be able to, support somebody if you support what they believe in. And listen, this kid at 17, he's not even a voter yet, and he's getting harassed for doing something. It's everybody should have the ability to express themselves and vote for whoever they want to vote. And I think that's a big reason why we wanted to send some of these Trump coins to him is because we want to let him know it's okay to support this president. It's okay to have the beliefs that you do, that, obviously as a conservative, and you shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't have to hide. And I think he's a smart young kid, and I think he's going to bounce back from this. But he was shaken by it because he wasn't expecting it. It's just walking down the street, minding his own business, and these kind of hooligans came up and started to rough him up. And so we just sent him a few coins just to say that we support you. And he tweeted about showed the coins that we treated him and was happy about it. And we're happy that he just feels that he can vote for and believe in whatever he wants.
And I find it amazing. I mean, the coin, it's you guys just came out with this brand new silver coin. It's a 1 ounce coin, and you guys sent me one, and I really appreciate it. And it's really, really nice, and I really appreciate that kind gesture from you guys. But the fact is, you guys didn't have to do this, but you recognize what happened, and you wanted to send him a few coins and just say, look, it's okay. And, I don't remember President Obama being harassed like this. Whenever he was president, I don't remember people going around harassing Obama supporters. We just don't do that. We just don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and our business, Noble Gold, we believe in people having expression. We believe in, gold and silver as an alternative asset. So not everybody believes that having gold and silver is important. Doing, a lot of people they follow the same. They put everything in the stock market, and they just they're sheep. And they do that their whole lives, and that's their choice. So we know that sometimes people don't always agree with what we say, but we like the ability in this country to be able to express our beliefs about what we think's happening and what we think is important. And this young man should be able to do the same thing. And Charles, my business partner, was a veteran, worked in the Air Force. My father was in the Air Force before him, and we were just literally appalled when we heard this story. Because that's what Charles, my partner, and my father, that's what they fought for. Being in the military, that's what you fight for, is our right to choose. That's what separates our country from a lot of the countries out there, is that freedom of expression and being able to choose whoever you want. So it was a small gesture, and I think it goes a long way that obviously we're divided in this country. And maybe that'll continue for a long time. But I think everybody needs to be able to express their voice, and that's part of the reason that we came up with this coin, the Trump silver coin, is we felt so many people wanted to express themselves in favor of Trump, but they felt closeted. They didn't feel that they could express themselves, and so people have been buying the coin and just feeling great that they could get something commemorative. It's also got some silver. It's 0.99 silver, so people are excited about getting some silver at home. The coin looks great, and it's a way to kind of show that you support the president. It's also a way to show that you support your show, because obviously we're supporting your show and the free speech that you're doing, and so it's kind of a way to just let people know that it's okay to be conservative, it's okay to believe in the president, and it's okay to have these views.
Amen to that. Amen to that. It really is. That's what makes America great, folks, is that the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom of expression, the freedom, to bear arms. Just everything in the Constitution was to allow everyone the God-given freedoms, God-given rights, freedoms given to us by our Creator, and we got to honor one another, even if you disagree with somebody else about a certain subject. It's okay. They have a right to believe the way they believe, and that's okay.
And Pastor Paul, and on the other side of the coin. So on one side we have Donald Trump and his image, and it's a beautiful coin. The other side talks about his achievements, and obviously we're alternative asset firm, so we're thinking about the economy, and so we wanted to highlight some of the things that he is. So we've had the first major tax reform in 30 years. We've had unemployment, as you mentioned, jobless. Obviously it's at the lowest point, below 4%. You've had the Dow hit 26,000, which is never. I mean, the economy has never been this. So the coin has those achievements on the back. So that can never be taken away, because we really, as of now, these things have happened, and President Trump, less than 500 days in office, has been able to move his business acumen into the presidency and to achieve these things, and it's pretty unbelievable right now.
Something else here that I think the president's done. Stock market doing good again today. Looks like it's up about 120 points. I don't know what's going to close at, but again, another good day. Gold holding strong at $1,208 an ounce. Silver still at $15 an ounce, $15.33 or something like that. I'm sure that's going to go up. Looks like gold is $1,216 an ounce. Okay. So again, gold has been consistently rising, and matter of fact, you got some statistics on that. Before we get to that, though, I want to ask you a question. You speak about Trump and his accomplishments, which are amazing. But when he went to the European Union, first of all, he went to the NATO and said, "You guys are going to pay your fair share. We're not the piggy bank no more. Everybody needs to step up and pay their 2% of GDP," and he got them to do it. They've committed, and checks are coming in. Then he goes to the European Union and says to them, "You guys are putting 25% tariffs on us. Forget it, okay? We're going to raise tariffs on you to equal the playing field." And they come back to all this crying and whining and hand-wringing by the media. And next thing you know, the EU comes to the White House and says, "Okay, we're dropping all the tariffs, and we're even going to buy your soybean." I mean, this is amazing accomplishments. He is doing the art of the deal, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the EU, the joke about the EU has been, the United States goes to these meetings and we fund every part of it. It's almost like, when you go out to dinner around the holidays and you have that one family member that never pays. The EU has been that family member for the last 40 years. And so President Trump basically is, kind of called them out and said that, everybody needs to contribute here, because a lot of times when we're going into places and doing things with the EU, we're protecting interests that are just the United States, and yet we're footing the majority of the bill. So it's that business acumen. I think that's what it comes down to, is he's looking at the bottom line and he's putting our country first, which it's been a long time since that happened. Everybody, I think for 30, 40 years before that, every president has sort of been focused on free trade and world and focusing on everybody else in the world. And now it seems like, we're getting it focused back here in the U.S., which I think that's why everybody's so excited.
And so with all this good news in the economy and everything moving forward, it doesn't come without a price. There has been struggle. There has been pushing and shoving. We realize that the media is hostile toward this president for the most part, not all of them. Yet yesterday, his approval rating hit an all-time high. 50% of the Americans approve the job he's doing. That's way more than he has in his base. That means that independents and even some Democrats are starting to approve the job he's doing, Colin. It's higher percentage than the last 6 presidents before him at this point in his presidency. So at what point does the MSNBCs of the world and some of these other CNN and some of these other networks start to be fair and cover this thing in a correct way?
It's never going to happen, Pastor Paul. It's always going to be this way. Everybody, because everyone's on polar sides of the issues. And I think that, even though so many people are benefiting from, obviously jobs, great example, benefiting from the stock market. If you are retiring now and you have that money in the stock market and you're living off that money, you're excited. And obviously, no president can completely control the economy, but he's pulled back a lot of regulations to try to make it a little bit more favorable. So I think that it's never going to change. A lot of people that are watching Fox, your channel, or CNN, they're stuck there, unfortunately, and we'll see what happens when you have people that are independent on the middle when election time comes in the next few months, and we'll see what the Republicans can do if they can stay in control, which will be interesting to see what's going to happen. But I think that when you have an economy like this, you don't want to rock the boat, and hopefully that will force people to continue to vote the way that they should and keep things going in the right direction.
Folks, we got Colin Plume with us today. Colin Plume, he's from Noble Gold Investments. Great company, Christian company, family owned, great people to if you have questions about your IRA or your 401k or some kind of diversifying of your retirement, or even you may have just gotten an inheritance or maybe a insurance settlement, why don't you call them? You can go to their website at www.noblegoldinvestments.com. Or you could call them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And they will explain things to you. They'll help you. They'll take a look at where you're at and then kind of give you some suggestions on your dirt. You want to diversify, folks. You can't have everything in all your eggs in one basket. Matter of fact, gold and silver are important, but you have really been doing some analyzation, you guys have, on the gold over a period of time. You've sent us a graph that's very, very powerful. Do you want to walk us through this, Colin, to understand?
Yeah, because I think everybody just looks at, when they look at the charts, a lot of times they'll just look at it like a month or 2 months. The chart basically shows that, if you go back, 18 months, gold has been moving up. It's been very steady. It's not your rocket ship investment like Bitcoin where it's going to go up 1,000% and then down. It's more of a steady climb, and that chart really shows that it's been very steady. It's been stable, that people have been investing into it. And if you take a percentage of your portfolio, you put it there, and you have some stocks and you have some different things that you're invested in, then you're really protected in the event that we see the economy or the stock market correct, or maybe bonds don't pay out what a lot of people think that they want them to pay out. So I think that chart really kind of shows a steady climb over time, and that's what a lot of big investors look at. That's what central banks look at. That's why they're buying gold. We always talk about Russia and China buying a lot of gold, and they continue to buy it. So those things are consistent. Those are the consistent, getting something tangible to hedge against inflation. That's the way to do it. And so, as you mentioned, they can call us if they have questions, they want to learn about investing in precious metals. And the Trump coin, trumpcoin2020.com is the website. We do have a promotion. If they mention you, once they're checking out, they put Paul in the checkout box, they're going to save $5 a coin.
Wow.
It's about a 15% savings. So we've had a lot of people doing that to save money on the coin. And I think the great thing is you're not only, for somebody that's never gotten any silver, they're going to get a silver coin. It's going to be a beautiful coin. It's a commemorative coin. As silver goes up, and as you mentioned, silver's at a very low point right now. So they're able to get some silver at a great price and able to support your show and able to support the president. So it's fantastic.
It's amazing there, and folks. So if you go to their website at noblegoldinvestments.com, and you say you want to get some of these Donald Trump coins here, that this commemorative coin of silver, just a beautiful coin, and like you said, you're supporting the president of the United States, and right now with the silver price a little bit lower, you have an opportunity here to get some of the silver coins here, and then as it gets ready to accelerate, which it will, and like you said, put my name in there, save $5 on it, get some coins.
And that's per coin. So no matter how many coins you buy, you're going to save the $5. And the part of the reason we did this, this coin is IRA approved. So if they roll over their IRA, you can put this coin in their IRA retirement account. But really, we were looking at the landscape. Most of the coins that are out, commemorative coins, are gold and silver plated.
Yeah.
They're not actual any precious metal. And we were like, wow, these coins are selling at higher prices than we're going to mint an actual silver coin. And so we wanted to give people that were already buying these coins some value because they're getting the silver content in there. And so, we are doing this on a limited supply. When they run out, they run out. And so, and the demand has already been very high. So definitely recommend people to get in there. And we're pre-selling them now. So the coin will be out in a few weeks, and who knows how long they're going to last for.
So there you go, folks. You might want to get involved in that. Apparently, that if you have a limited supply of anything, it's just like baseball cards or like anything. When there's a limited supply, the value of it can only go one direction, and that's up. Especially because you've got actual silver. Now, having talked about these things, Colin, people do need to diversify. I mean, a lot of folks are retiring. I get emails like, Paul, what do I do? I'm praying about what God wants me to do. I'm retiring. I got a 401k, and I don't know what to do with it. And my answer is always, you need to go straight to Noble Gold Investments and tell them where you're at in your life cycle, and and tell them what you got to work with here, and where should you put some of the funds, whether in the stock market or in precious metals, or So that's what you guys do. You help people in those areas as well, don't you, Colin?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the great thing when you're dealing with, a family business, everybody here understands precious metals and gold and silver. We've really streamlined it because I think a lot of times when people get into this, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of coins and bars. We've streamlined it on our website, and all the brokers here know all the products that have the highest weight, the highest purity, and highest demand. And so we really try to, if they're going to invest here, we want to steer them in a direction where they're getting some product or getting a piece that is going to go up in value over time. They're going to get into the right product. And so we really try to educate them on precious metals, gold and silver. And we take the time. I think everybody that you refer over to us, they're going to tell you that everybody spends the time here. It is, as you mentioned, a family business. So ultimately, a lot of times we give education, we give information, and then when the time is right for that person, they're going to contact us. And that's where we kind of separate ourselves, I would say, from a lot of the competitors out there. A lot of them just, they feel that they have to continue to make a sale on that first phone call, or it's at the end of the day, it's an education. We want to provide that. We have guides and information, and then we let the person make the decision. And that's, I think, that why you and I have always gotten along is because you understand that we're building a relationship for the long term, and we think that about of our clients, that we're building it for forever, and we want to be around forever. And down there, I've had people, I've been doing this for a while. I've had people give the coins to their kids, and they're so excited about it. And I've had grandparents give it to their grandkids, and really leave off a legacy to the next generation. And that's the really exciting thing, is like when people pass off, they give some gold and silver to somebody in their family, and they pass it on, they pass that wealth on and that history behind it. And that it's exciting, and people like that. It's so much different than any other kind of gift that you give somebody, is because it has value. Some of the coins that we sell, we have an interesting set right now. We have this 3-coin set, and this is all we have. These 3 coins, they're from 1804. And
what?
It's this incredible set of these 3 coins. One's a Bank of England, Bank of Ireland, and a Spanish coin. And this is the money that we used in the U.S. because we didn't have our own currency, gold and silver currency. We didn't have any currency until the late 1840s. So we were using money from other places. And so, these kind of stories, these 3 coins, over 200 years old, someone can buy these and put them in their collection. And these stories just are fascinating. People are just shocked they could hold these coins in their hand, and that, people were, this is before the Civil War. I mean, talk about all the history that's happened over the last 200 years. And so that's what makes it exciting for us as a company. We like to be able to pass that education on, but also teach people about some of these older coins that people were using to trade and barter, for hundreds of years.
It's just incredible. It's tangible. I mean, you say about passing something on down to grandchildren or what have you. It's something tangible, and your grandkids maybe pick it up and look at it and say, my grandfather gave me that. It has a more symbolic meaning to it. It's a more tangible effect. I've had people say, as a pastor, they'll say, Pastor Begley, why are we worried about gold and silver? The Bible says that we're gonna be throwing our gold and silver in the street. Well, you have to understand that scripture says in the day of the wrath of God. Okay, we're not in the day of wrath, so your gold and silver is going to be good. Now, when God decides to pour out His wrath upon the planet, your gold and silver or anything else is not going to be worth anything. That's what the scripture plainly says. But for some reason, people they've just been misinformed, and so I think it's important. And let me just say something. I think it's really cool when Jesus caught a fish one time. They were behind on their taxes, he and the disciples, and he caught a fish and it had a gold coin in it, and it was enough. It must have been pretty rare. It might have been one of your 1804s. I don't know, but it had to be something pretty rare because it was worth enough to pay all the taxes of his disciples. Yep. So
it holds the value through the test of time. I mean, there's no example that it doesn't keep up with and outpace every other type of money out there. There's just no question. I mean, there's only two fiat currencies that are left over the last 200 years. There's the dollar and the pound, and those have shrunk to, worth next to nothing. Paper money is always just going to dwindle and dwindle, and gold and silver are going to hold their value through the test of time, and that's always going to be the case.
Let me ask you a question, because just go into a political area, or I should say maybe even militarily here. The United States, the President of the United States has warned Iran that if they don't come to the table and just completely give up the idea of having nuclear weapons, that he's going to put the heaviest sanctions on them they've ever had. In the last 3 days, the currency value of Iran's money went down 50%. The people there know that these sanctions are going to cripple the value of their money. And now in 11 different cities, they're in the streets, they're rioting, they're protesting, they're chanting death to the dictator. And so currency value is huge when it comes to. So do you ever see the United States maybe even going back to a gold standard?
There's been some talk about it. I think, first of all, that we don't have enough gold to back all the money, unfortunately. So I don't know how they would rectify that. Even though we are supposedly the number one holder of gold, there's still too much money out there. When you have dictatorships that, like Iran and different places that can manipulate their currency so rapidly, or the threat of sanctions can manipulate their currency so rapidly, it shows that fiat money and the value of fiat money is strictly based on faith. And luckily right now we're in a position where the economy is strong and the dollar is strong, so we're not in a bad position. But people remember the late 70s, early 80s when we were in a bind. You had the oil crisis and we had 14 to 17% inflation. So we can get hurt by it here also. It's not just other countries. The economy is roaring here now. We're in a power position, so we're able to kind of dictate what we want. But at the end of the day, you can never trust, and that's why the founders of this country never had any anticipation that we would be off the gold standard, that we would just be dealing in fiat money. Most people then always believed you had to have something tangible, and that's why until 1933 you could trade in a $20 bill for a $20 gold piece, and that was because they didn't trust the bankers, they didn't trust fiat money. And so you have to always think that in the back of your mind, that fiat money may not be around, it could get changed, it's getting manipulated. And that's why we talk about hedging your bet with something tangible, something that has a limited supply. They can't just print gold out of thin air or silver. It has to be mined, and it's expensive. to find it, and then you have to factor that there's industrial uses that are using it on a day-to-day basis, so that pulls the supply of metals down. So that's why you always have to look at fiat money as a way to trade and barter, but there's really better ways to trade and barter that don't lose as much value.
Colin Plume is with us, folks. NobleGoldInvestment.com. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com. And you know, what a great gesture that you guys gave this Ashton Hess, that you gave him several of your silver coins, the Trump coins, as to say, look, we're standing with you. You might have got bullied over wearing the great, Make America Great Again hat. But know this, America is a nation where we respect each other's rights. And I'm just proud of you guys. And again, folks, Noble Gold Investments, they're a great Christian company, family owned, high integrity. And that's really important. And I can, with confidence, suggest that you go there to help answer your needs. If you're retiring your 401k, your IRA, or maybe you want to get one of those coins. Colin's got one. Pick up the phone, call the number 877-646-5347. You can call them, and they'll walk you through wherever you're at. There he is. There you see Colin holding the coin. Hold that up there again. There it is. There it is. Are you serious? That's a beautiful coin. You guys designed a beautiful coin. Great job.
People are loving it, and so we're happy to offer it. And I think a lot of people giving it as gifts to their grandkids, friends. I've had some people joke that they're giving it to their liberal friends as gifts, which is fun and all in good fun. So I think for whatever reason, people are buying it for their collection. They're also going to give some coins away to family and friends.
Colin, it has been an honor to be with you today again. Time just flies.
Every time we look up and it's 25 minutes later every time. I appreciate your time, Pastor Paul. I know you're very busy, and it's always a joy to come on. You're a light. You have great energy, and I think everybody that listens to the show knows that not only do you believe in everything you say, but you bring a real joy to everybody's life, and I appreciate that.
I really appreciate that. That is just I'm just humbled by that. And so may God bless your company and bless all the work you guys are doing out there. Folks, again, that is Colin Plume. He's with Noble Gold Investments. Go to their website, NobleGoldInvestments.com, and we'll be bringing him back on again with more information that will help you in the times we're in. I will see you next time right here.
Thanks, Pastor Paul. Bye-bye.